All right, yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch of SportsView360.com, covering the New Orleans Saints today. And today we're going to talk about the trades that went down for the New Orleans Saints as the reboot, the rebuild of this team has begun. But it had been begun since Derek Carr retired. The rebuild had started, but these moves today signified what's about to go down with the New Orleans Saints. The first move announced today was the trade of Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks in return for the Saints will get the Seahawks 2026 fourth and fifth round picks. Now, if you recall, the Saints had sent their fourth round pick to the Denver Broncos in return for Devon Valet, and now the Saints sending Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks to get their draft picks now. So you know this means that hopefully we get to see more of Devon Valet being featured in this offense now, because since you get Shaheed out of the way, he goes to Seattle. That should elevate Valet, and it should elevate Chris Olave now. Now we get to see, hopefully, what type of wide receiver is Chris Olave now. Is he like a true number one guy now? Can he turn into that? Rashid Shaheed was having a solid year. 44 catches, 499 yards. He had two touchdowns. Solid year, but he goes to a team that is going to be really good. He also will be working with Clint Kubiak once again, um, who was the offensive coordinator last year, was a hot head coaching candidate for like 2 weeks until the injuries started to pile up, and then he went downhill. But now you see um, how good that offense can be when it has players that are healthy, and you have a team that knows how to draft. And they look good so far. But Rashid Shaheed's going to a better place, a better team right now. Saints. I know. I announced this trade on my Instagram page for the Sports View 360 New Orleans Saints um, IG page, and a lot of people got my mentions through the stories, and just were mad, were ticked off that the Saints made this trade. And I'm just kind of like thinking like, yo, y'all just don't know that this team not going nowhere, man. I know y'all had everybody got their their favorite players and all that on this team, and don't want them to leave, but the Saints weren't going nowhere, and this move had to be done. This team needs draft picks. You're not doing nothing with just five draft picks. Prior to making this deal, today's deals, the Saints only have five draft picks heading into 2026. You're not gonna successfully get a rebuild done with just five draft picks. I mean, if you do, all five of those draft picks got to hit. And the odds of that happening are very slim, especially with the way the New Orleans Saints have been drafting lately. So that move had to be done, man. And, it's a business at the end of the day, man. These players gonna come and go. You know what I'm saying? Some players gonna stay with the Saints for a very long time, and some will get moved. Some will leave during free agency, man. It don't bother them. It doesn't bother them as much as it bother your everyday fan. You're not in the fives. You know what I mean? But it's a move that had to be done, man. Saints are 1-8, clearly out of the playoff picture. Um, these last two losses, couple of losses, pretty much signify that this team needs to be rebuilt. At a lot of positions. You know, so Rashid Shaheed off to the Seattle Seahawks. The other trade that went down today was former first round pick Trevor Penning going to the Los Angeles Chargers, and I believe the Saints got a six-round pick for this guy. Yeah, it's 2027 six-round pick for Trevor Penning, for trading Trevor Penning to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, if you recall, Chris Olave and Trevor Penning were selected by the New Orleans Saints in the 2022 NFL draft. I think the Saints had the 19 overall pick, and they got another pick from Philadelphia after trading their future. I think they trade one of their draft picks to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we all know how that all played out. The Eagles clearly won that trade. They went ahead and accumulated some very good players from those drafts, allowed them to become Super Bowl contenders and win a championship. The Saints, you got Chris Olave, who's shown flashes of being good every now and then, but has dealt with multiple concussions. Trevor Penning, they played him at left tackle, right tackle, move him to guard. It just, you know, hasn't all come together. You know what I'm saying? There were some reports out there that were saying that he was starting to get better at his position, but it wasn't good enough, for the Saints. And they felt as though he was going to be a free agent anyway. So they felt as though might as well get something for him while you got time, while you have a chance. And it's not much, a 6 round pick, but you don't have to pay him. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay him nothing. So that's a player you don't have to worry about. Along with Rashid Shaheed as well. He's going to going to, he's going to play for Seattle, but he's going to be a free agent after this season. So that's going to be Seattle's issue to deal with once the season is over. So I'm pretty sure they'll probably figure out a way to keep him because I think he's a really good player. In my opinion. So um, trade deadline is over, and the Saints are officially heading into their rebuild with by making these moves. Now there was some reports out there that before the Indianapolis Colts made that move to acquire Sauce Gardner from the Jets, cornerback, to get the they gave up 2 first round picks to the Jets. There's some talks about the Colts possibly being interested in Alontae Taylor, but that fell through. So they went to Plan B. I guess Plan B was to give up those 1st round picks for Sauce Gardner. So there's that. But Alontae Taylor will be a New Orleans Saint. Chris Olave will be a New Orleans Saint for the foreseeable future, I guess. I'm assuming they will be resigned during recent free agency. So we'll see how it all play out. But um, Chris Rashid Shaheed is now with the Seattle Seahawks, and Trevor Penning, former 1st round pick, is now with the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers O line pretty much has been depleted since losing Joe Alt, and they lost Rashawn Slater during training camp. So it was getting pretty bad for them. And you got a team like the Chargers that's trying to fight for a playoff berth, trying to stay afloat in the AFC West. You're gonna make moves, And this is not this to me. This is like a high risk, high reward type of deal for them for the Chargers, and he might work out. Trevor Penning might pop with the Chargers because he's going to a team that has a really good coaching staff, and Jim Harbaugh, he's all about building up the trenches. That's been part of his DNA. It's part of his bread and butter. As a head coach, he knows how to build up those trenches. So I wouldn't be surprised if Trevor Penning becomes a really good, reliable guard or left tackle, wherever they put him at with that team. But I will not be upset with it because um, the Saints are not going anywhere right now, and you know it's just what it is. He didn't work out, so there's that. But that's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel. What are y'all thoughts about the Saints trading Trevor Penning and Rashid Shaheed to the Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Chargers? Also, what is your grade on these trades that the Saints made? I give them a B. So I'm out. Y'all have a blessed day. Peace. Please subscribe.